So today we have got some news to cover in the world of MMA. It's actually been pretty quiet recently for news outside of these stories that I'm going to talk about today. I think that is because WrestleMania 41 is this weekend. Now, before people say WWE's gay, you've just instantly outed yourself as gay in my opinion, because everybody's going to be watching WrestleMania. Let's not pretend here. Yeah, let's not fucking lie to one another. Cena's winning the 17th. We're all going to watch it. Let's stop lying. But let's get on to more important things. Let's talk about this news story right away. Charles Oliveira is only interested in fighting for the title next.
Bruh.
He said in a recent interview, "I don't run away from anyone, I never have. If it's for the title, why not fight Topuria?" Don't understand what he means by that. "I'm looking for the title. I don't want to fight another fight just to wait for the title. No." How the greats have fallen. What the fuck is going on in the UFC right now? Why is everyone feeling like they're so entitled to a title shot? Oliveira doesn't deserve one. Let's just be honest. I know Charles Oliveira is a fan favourite. He's one of the biggest stars the UFC have. His title run was extremely entertaining. Most of the time, 99% of the time, Oliveira is always fun to watch. But in reality, he doesn't deserve to fight for the title. I know he's ranked number 2 in the UFC's lightweight division. But when you look at what he's done recently, what's he coming off? A win over Michael Chandler, whose last win took place in the 1800s. So, are you meaning to tell me beating Michael Chandler by decision, by the way, after we've just seen what Paddy Pimblett done to Michael Chandler, beating Michael Chandler by decision and nearly being stopped in the 5th round grants you a title shot, when there's people that are way more deserving than you in the rankings, like an Arman Tsarukyan and like an Ilia Topuria? Starting off with Arman Tsarukyan, the guy's the number 1 ranked UFC lightweight. He's coming off a win over Charles Oliveira at UFC 300. Now, yes, that fight was close, don't get me wrong, but a clear win for Arman Tsarukyan, in my opinion. Oliveira nearly had him at spots, but for the majority of the fight, Arman Tsarukyan was winning that matchup. Moving on to Ilia Topuria, who deserves it more than Oliveira. People might say, how? Topuria's got no ranked wins in the lightweight division, blah blah blah. Ilia Topuria is a top 3 pound for pounder in the UFC right now. Ilia Topuria is coming off 2 of the best wins ever in UFC history in knocking out Max Holloway and Alexander Volkanovski. And when you look at the UFC's lightweight rankings, the 5th ranked UFC lightweight is Max Holloway, who Ilia Topuria knocked out in his last fight. Ilia Topuria... I was nearly sick. Ilia Topuria is more deserving than Charles Oliveira. Another thing about Oliveira fighting for the title, I just don't care to see it. What has Oliveira changed in his game that would make you think his rematch against Islam Makashev is going to be more competitive? What have you seen in his game that makes you think that? He out-grappled Michael Chandler in their last fight. Do you think he's going to out-grapple Islam Makashev?
Huh?
The answer's no. Even when we seen their fight first time around, it was so one-sided. Islam outstruck him and dropped him, took him down. I think he might have dropped Oliveira, then got the arm triangle, or was it Oliveira for some bizarre reason pulled guard on Islam? He done that in that fight as well, which doesn't make any fucking sense. But he got outstruck and dropped, out-grappled and subbed. And since then, we have seen nothing. Well, me anyway, you can let me know in the comments. There is nothing that I have seen from Oliveira's recent performances that make me think, oh wow, if he'd done that against Islam, he'd have success there. Not one. The guy needs one more win. If Topuria isn't going to be fighting Islam Makashev next, book Oliveira versus Ilia Topuria. We've already seen that was kind of leaked anyway on the Josh Emmett, Lerone Murphy card whenever that wee snippet came up saying about them at UFC Noche. There's no way that was an accident, and there's no way that there's no truth behind that. Why would that have been made in the first place by the UFC if there was no truth to that? I think they were hinting at something there, that Oliveira versus Topuria is going to be happening. But this whole narrative that everyone's going down now, like, actually, no, I think I'm just going to wait and fight for the title. No, you're fucking not. You don't deserve it. Fight one more time. What is going on? Next news story I want to talk about. We have got Israel Adesanya basically confirming that he is going to be coming back. Now, we have seen some training footage recently from Israel Adesanya. I don't know if he's doing like an American tour or what it is exactly he's doing, but we've seen him training with Kamaru Usman I think Kamaru Usman is going to be making a return very soon. I do think that the guy, I've seen a lot of training footage of Kamaru Usman recently, which makes me believe that he is coming back. He has to come back because he can't sit in his position for much longer. If he's going to sit in that ranking spot, he needs to fight. If he's not going to fight anytime soon, get him out of the rankings. But we've seen him train with Kamaru Usman. We've seen him train with Sean O'Malley. I think he is going to come back. I really do. Not that he's kind of went away. I mean, he went away, came back, lost to DDP, then came back pretty quick-ish after that and got beat by Nasruddin Mamavov. Who he's going to fight next? I think it is going to be Sean Strickland.
Bruh.
I know Roman Dolidze has been calling him out and stuff like that. Roman Dolidze's ranked number 8. Israel Adesanya, despite being on a losing streak, he is still a cash cow for the UFC. He's a big name. People will tune in to watch him fight. They're not going to risk Adesanya's last fight on the likes of a Roman Dolidze, who, let's be honest, doesn't really bring anything to the UFC. That might sound brutal, but it is honest. I think they're going to try and milk Israel Adesanya, as much as they can and have him in what is going to be probably the biggest fight they can make for him as of right now, and that is the rematch against Sean Strickland. I think that's what they're going to do. You could have that headline like a fight night. It could be a great co-main event, a big card. That's what I think they're going to do. I think Israel Adesanya will return again, and I think his next fight, will be against Sean Strickland. Moving on. We have got this that I think is pretty interesting. Coming off the back of the Joe Rogan, Ilya Topuria podcast. Actually was a good episode. Topuria came across very well, in my opinion, in that one. We have got Joe Rogan. He has revealed that the UFC have been talking about Islam Makashev moving up to fight Belal Muhammad, as well as JDM if he becomes new champ at UFC 315. And Ilya Topuria believes the fight will happen between Makashev and Belal Muhammad. I have been saying this since I've started my YouTube channel. Islam Makashev, if given the chance, would stab Belal Muhammad in the back in a heartbeat to fight for the welterweight title. These guys are not boys. The way Belal Muhammad portrays how he is with the Dagestani guys, they don't care about you, Belal. Islam will fight you next. And also, this kind of goes back into this story right here for Oliveira saying he wants to fight for the title. Even though I think Arman Tsarukyan would deserve to fight for the belt over Oliveira if this scenario was to happen, I know the UFC won't give Arman the title fight because of what happened at UFC 311. So if this is the case and Islam is dead set on moving up to the welterweight division, you need to do what you done to Ilya Topuria. Strip him of the title. Announce at UFC 315 fight week that the winner of the main event will be fighting Islam Makashev next. Strip Islam of the title. And then make Oliveira versus Ilya Topuria for the vacant UFC lightweight title. If Islam Makashev is going to move up, that's the best way to do it in my opinion. I think that makes complete sense. It lets us know who's next in the welterweight division, because the welterweight division doesn't have a real clear-cut number one contender. Don't try and tell me it's Shavkat, because I'll literally fucking swanton bomb my setup. It's not Leon Edwards, obviously. Sean Brady, you've got an argument for, but no. Joaquin Buckley needs one more win. Kamaru Usman needs a win. There's no real contender in that division. Ian Gary needs more than a win over Carlos Prates. The way he's been handling himself recently is so weird. I actually should have included that in this video. That might be in tomorrow's video, talking about the delusion that Ian Gary's went into. But that's how I think you could book this scenario. And if the UFC are talking about Islam moving up, that's what you do. Confirm that he's moving up. The start of the fight week for UFC 315, confirm that regardless of who wins, Islam is fighting them next, and then announce Oliveira versus Topuria for the vacant UFC lightweight title. Problem solved. Moving on, we have got this. I hate this. I hate everything about this, to be honest.
Bruh.
I'm trying to show my support to Movsar, and believe me, it's not easy. It is not easy. This guy doesn't have a finish in the UFC. He just beat Aljamain Sterling. For those who don't know, I am the number one subscriber to the Aljamain Sterling fan club. And Movsar gives me shit like this. Exactly what Ankalaev done, exactly what Belal Muhammad's done. Movsar promises not to take down Alexander Volkanovski if the UFC give him a title shot. I can promise them I'm not going to take anyone down if they give me a title shot. I'm not going to go there first. If they try to take me down, I'll accept this, but I'm not going to go there first. I'll just straight up strike. Lie. But the fact that Movsar's even having to go down this route to try and please the UFC or try and please the... I don't even want to say it's like the casual audience, because I don't even think they would know who Movsar is. The fact he's going down this route to just kind of appease some of the MMA fan base, don't lie. Don't talk shit. It's the exact same Magomed Ankalaev said, I'm just going to strike with Pereira. Now granted, Ankalaev did outstrike Pereira, but let's not forget he shot 12 takedowns in there, didn't get a single one. Bilal Muhammad said he's just going to strike and show his Canelo hands with JDM. Lie. Absolute lie. You're going to out-grapple JDM. That's your way to victory. And same with Movsar Evloev going in there against Volkanovski. I want to see Movsar Evloev fight his game. Movsar Evloev isn't going to outstrike Volkanovski. So if he's going to go in there, I'm going to have a kickboxing match with Volkanovski. I actually wouldn't mind if they skipped up Movsar then, because I don't care to see it, because Movsar, yes, he has good boxing in my opinion, but I want to see these guys who, he is an elite level grappler. Stick to your game plan. I want to see the best fight the best. And Movsar, for you to be considered the best in your division, you have to grapple, because you're not the best striker. Does that make sense? I hate this narrative. Just say you want to fight Volkanovski, you've beaten all these people in the division, you're the number one guy, and people will get behind you. Stop lying. I hate this narrative that people create. You're an elite level grappler. People expect you to grapple to win. That's how you've gotten this far. Stop talking shit, stop lying. This is why people then will turn against you, even though they already have. Bullshit. Just come out, explain that how many names you've beaten. The likes you've beaten Aljo, Arnold Allen, Dan Ige, Diego Lopez. You've the best resume outside of the champ. And you're the number one guy. Instead of this, lie. I don't understand this narrative. Moving on, finally. Vicente Luque versus Kevin Holmes has been announced for UFC 316. This is a good announcement for the card. Welterweight is definitely Kevin Holmes' division. He needs to stay there. Stop moving up to the middleweight division. You're a welterweight. Vicente Luque, I thought he was washed. He's not. He's coming off a win over Themba Gorimbo, if I remember correctly. Then he lost to... Before that, he lost to Joaquin Buckley. Not a bad loss. But he is coming off wins of the likes of RDA. Who else did he beat? He beat RDA, Michael Chiesa. Obviously, coming off a win over Themba Gorimbo, who was on a win streak at the time. He's actually not as washed as what everyone was saying, or what everyone says that he is. This is a good addition to the card. I think Kevin Holland will stop Vicente Luque, but you can let me know your opinions in the comments below. So yeah, a bit of a quiet week. Hopefully it picks up. Let me know your opinions in the comments below. And as always, thanks for the support. Like, share, subscribe, comment, all that good stuff. And I'll see you again in the next one.